This is being recorded on Tuesday, the 7th of April, and will most likely be uploaded, oh God, not for a very long time. But anyway, welcome to another Snack on a Story with yours truly. Just got done eating my dinner, and I figured I may as well have an apple for afters. And I had a very good day today. I got quite a lot of, well, not quite a lot, but I've got a decent bit of writing done in this mystery novel that I'm working on. And also, I'm in the process of writing the script for my next album review. This time we shall be discussing Betty Davis. And let me tell you, I am so anxious to talk about her. Anyway, so tonight's story is a bit of a strange one. So I guess I'll go ahead and tell it, and I'm going to eat this apple, and I guess drink or crunch on the leftover ice I have left in my drink, and you're going to go ahead and watch me be the voyeur, why not? So let's begin. Now, for many years, it was a tradition for myself and an offshoot of the family to traverse up north to Ventura, California, wherein an uncle and aunt of mine had owned a condominium where we would stay for the weekend or more, because during the time we went, it was around August. And the reason why we went during August is because they would have the Ventura County Fair, or, amusement arcade, whatever that you'd call it. So, we'd always be game for that, I suppose. And we've done it for a good 8 years, I believe, as far as I know. But anyway, I'll talk about Ventura and the fair, I suppose, later in another video, maybe. So I just got to get on with my point here. So at this fair, among the multitudinous rides and games and attractions, all of that type of thing, there was, I suppose, a venue where certain bands would perform, and it was entirely complimentary. Anybody could join in on that. It's just something to do, after you've, I suppose, had your caramel coated, I don't know, sucking pig or whatever you have there. You could go ahead and waltz on over to the concert hall, or not concert hall, but arena, and see, mainly they would have Huey Lewis and the News there. But of course they don't have him there anymore, because apparently he is losing hearing and therefore is losing his singing voice. Very sad indeed. But they had various other bands there too, so. In fact, I remember we went to see a CC&R cover band there. Yes, Guntik's going to be very... He's probably going to crucify me for this, but I didn't really like the cover band too well. Probably because on the CD that we listened to every time we went up there, it was just boundless CC&R. And I frankly had had enough of it by that time, and was just tired and everything, and couldn't wait to get back to the condominium. But that's besides the point. On this particular occasion, when we went down there, it was about 2.5 years ago, or a year and a half ago. I can't quite remember. It was, I believe, preceding my graduation, or as I'd like to call it, my liberation from secondary school. And this was kind of like the last year we went as well, because my aunt had sold the condominium and was going through a long bout of painful depression, in which was, I suppose, associated with that area. I won't get into that. But either way, at that particular time, I suppose the main attraction was the comedian Gabriel Iglesias, or as most people may know him, Fluffy. He's a very funny man, and we saw a few of his, I guess, comedy shows on Netflix and other sort of streaming services like that, and thought he was a fine crack-up, really. And when we heard that he was going to be down there, or up there, whatever, the weekend that we were there for the fair, we couldn't pass that opportunity up. And it was a free venue, mind you. Keep this in mind. It was free, absolutely free. You did not have to pay for the price of a ticket whatsoever. The only price you had to pay for was your food, or no, the ticket in order to get into the fair, your food, and I guess games or whatever. That's it. This show free. So, I believe the show was at, I suppose, maybe 5, 6, 7 o'clock, one of those, sometime in the evening. And, you know, we, I guess, decided, or we didn't decide, we just went up to where it was at and noticed that there was a bit of a queue forming round the entrance of the place. Or no, there wasn't a queue. Here's what I'm saying. You know, we were walking around the fair, and then we noticed that there was this very long, sinuous queue, you know, going around from, I suppose, halfway into the fairgrounds and all the way around every place else and all that. And we have no idea what this is for. And then my aunt obviously assumed that they're here for Fluffy. And obviously they were. And this line, let me tell you, it was afflicted with the worst case of lassitude that I've ever seen, really. For a whole half an hour, the goddamn thing didn't move. And, there was hundreds, if not thousands of people in it. Not fighting each other, I'll get to that later. But many people, and we decided to wait in line, and we waited in about 3, I guess, because the show was going to be at like 5 or so. And basically what we did was, what they did, was after about a half an hour, they started letting people into the thing. And this line, I suppose, kept a steady march going for about 10 minutes. And then within 10 minutes, we were in the arena, or wherever. And this arena, let me tell you, it's an area that's comparable to the plebeian amphitheater in Rome, also known as the Colosseum. And, well, no, not really. But, sides of it are. It's open on, I believe, one side here and one side there for the stage and everything. But either way, it's a big area, big open area. And there was this tortuous sea of people in the pit, and I suppose splashing up onto the sides of the venue. And oh my God, we had to fight in order to get a seat. I mean, I tell you, Mum was haggling with about 3 or 4 different people for a seat for my father, myself, and her. And my brother didn't even get a seat. He actually had to stand up and everything. And I believe also that the fire department was phoned because there was such an excess of people to, I suppose, sort of quell the severity of the issue. To little avail, I must add. But we eventually did get seats, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but my aunt and uncle ended up going to like a restaurant or something. They didn't even see the show. But basically, so we wait about an hour, it feels like an hour, for the portly man to come out onto the stage, and thousands of people. And when he finally does, Mum, Dad, and I are sat, I suppose, in that way or other. And when he finally does come on, there's this hellish cacophony of cheers that resounds throughout the area. And I suppose particular focus is placed on these 2 girls, these 2 fatuous little bitches. I don't know them, so I can say that. But who, I suppose, let out such squalling vociferations that it made one's ears ring and actually excoriate and I believe bleed. Not bleed, I'm over-exaggerating, but you get the idea. Mum described it as sort of like a police siren or siren on a fire engine going off in your ears or something like that. And so the fat man finally comes on, and we all have ourselves a good laugh for about an hour, and then usually when these comedy shows do end after an hour, they usually have an encore, or not even an encore. They don't even get off the fucking stage. They actually remain there, and ask if they should keep going. And these people were relentless. They had the man up there, kept telling his most renowned jokes and such, and like a song, like, you know how people always sing along to Sweet Caroline or Freebird, or in my case, I'll Get By Without You by Wah Wah Watson. Nobody's going to know what that song is or who that musician is. Don't worry, I will talk about him in another video. And they were loud as hell. And luckily, once the show was over, I do believe that we went back to the hotel we were staying at, because we actually stayed at a hotel that last time we were up there. And our ears were bloody hurting, I tell you. Never did we, actually, I went to a few other concerts, I suppose. My brother actually took note of this, and when he took me to go see Queens of the Stone Age for my 18th birthday, he actually gifted me this set of stoppers that go in your ears, and they were supposed to, like, I don't know, modulate the sound in a certain way to where you would only hear the band performing, and it would, I suppose, mute or partially subdue the uproar of the audience. And that worked just fine. And then, obviously, when I went with him to go see Nine Inch Nails in Vegas, I took those same things. To be honest with you, he actually wanted to see Nine Inch Nails. I just went with him out of pity, but because he had nobody else to go with. But anyway, so that was a very long story about an experience in, I guess, my first real live show. Well, not first live show, but whatever, in which I severely ravaged my fragile eardrums. Pardon me, Jesus. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed recollecting it, because I find myself being propelled back into memories. It's like Marcel Proust's Remembrance of Things Past. I'm constantly eating madeleines, or dipping madeleines in the tea. I'm not really, but for some reason or other, something or other happens, and it's a chain reaction to where I remember the best times of my life, and I enjoy doing that. And I figured I remember that, so I may as well tell it to you. So anyway, I'm going to go cross this off of my list of things that I can tell you. I have a few more. Stay tuned for the others that I do have, and I'm still working on this Betty Davis script. Expect that soon. It may even already be out by the time you see this. I don't know. It depends on when I get my editing software back. And that's it. You all have a good evening or morning or afternoon whenever you're seeing this, because I'm recording this at 6 o'clock in the evening, as you can see. All right. Goodbye.